Hello, everyone, and welcome back to RGL. We've got an amazing match for you tonight. It is going to be Jiminy versus GlobalClan over on Koth Bagel. I think this may be our first Koth map of the season so far. Actually, no, second. First one was Mama's Boys versus Freyotech, where Mama's Boys took that win and kind of put Freyotech for a loop. We're going to have to see if maybe GlobalClan can do the same thing to Jiminy, but to break it all down with me, we have got Unicorn Wizard on the mic, so excited. And then, as always, we have got Dolphin on production, the eternal sea creature who is endlessly providing us with just streams and matches to cast. But Unicorn Wizard, first of all, how are you doing tonight? And second, what is your wizard reading telling you? Like, looking into your crystal ball, who do you see coming out victorious tonight? And what are your thoughts on this matchup?
I like that. I'm doing pretty good. This could be very close. I was kind of talking before we went live a little bit. If I had to bet on this, I'm betting Jiminy wins. They just, based on results, based on scrims, players, etc., and all that, they are the stronger team. However, it is a Koth map. I mean, granted, Bagel isn't as upset heavy as something like Product, but it is a Koth map. Those upsets can still happen. And given the DM level and coordination of the GlobalClan team and players, I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled it off. But if I had to put money on somebody, I'm saying Jiminy.
I would definitely agree with you. Jiminy would be taking my money. Hopefully, I'd be getting some greater returns with it, but we'll have to see. Of course, you can bet your channel points in the chat for all of that good stuff, but we can quickly kind of go down the rosters a little bit because both of them have some very interesting ones. Obviously, on the side of Jiminy, you're going to have Sai, Kobe. As for two scouts, Zam and Yite are going to be the two soldiers. Lol Guy is on Demo Man, and then Speedy on Medic. Kind of all of those people on those classes are essentially off classes to what you'd predominantly know them as. Sai, Soldier, Demo, Kobe, Soldier, Zam, Scout, I believe, Yite, Scout, Lol Guy, Medic, and Speedy. I mean, he's played Medic before. Actually, he's probably the most used to the class that he's playing on out of everyone else on his team, but I think I first saw him as Soldier. So it's kind of a class of all semi-off-classing people.
Yeah, I did not know they were off-classing, but that does change things a little bit. Although it could also be a situation where if they lose a round, they just go back to their main classes. I've seen that one before. But regardless, on the other side, for GlobalClan, we have Soren Shamu on Scout, Taz on Roamer, Quackus on Pocket, Dingo on Demo, and Dank on Medic. I'm sure a lot of people know if they started this season with a different roster, changed things up a little bit, and it seems like they're having a good amount more success, relatively.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. And their match last night that we saw on the stream, they weren't able to win it, but they were able to keep Freyotech on their toes a little bit, and they had great opportunities to be in position to get rounds, which I know sounds like a lot of conditionals and qualifiers to saying, oh, they still lost, but being able to be into the position to get rounds and to win is something that maybe that team with their initial roster wouldn't have been able to do in the first place. So I think they definitely are a lot better than they were. Obviously, we were kind of talking about it, but Shamu, Dingo, those are people who have been an invite for I don't even know how long. They've been on playoffs teams, playoff bubble teams, playoffs teams that you knew were going to make it there. So they have a lot of experience kind of being in that grind, getting to that fourth spot, which, as we were kind of talking about, it's kind of what GlobalClan are playing for. You have the top three, which is Jiminy, Mama's Boys, and Freyotech, but that fourth spot is really kind of a toss-up between GlobalClan and Mafia at the moment. Or sorry, Fjord Gaming.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it really is the three and then, 4 and 5. This is a great spot for GlobalClan to really, start their, I don't want to call it a comeback necessarily. They are currently seeded 5th. They're 2 and 3, I believe, as opposed to Fjord, who are 3 and 2. So an upset win over Jiminy here on a Koth, like I was kind of saying earlier, is a really good spot for them to start because a lot of teams will not take it to Koth. And I think that of the top 3, Jiminy are, they're more beatable than at least Mama's Boys, I would say. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I definitely agree that Jiminy might be, I don't want to say the low hanging fruit because they're not low hanging
No.
at all. They're still very, very high up there, but it might be the fruit that they can reach a little bit more easily, even if they need to get like a step ladder or something to get up there. But as they're figuring out the config, like you said, Koth, going to be maybe, hopefully, a little bit better for Global Clan because you do have that chaos factor. And also, even if they don't get the upset win, all the rounds are going to count because if you assume to the fact that, both Fjord and Global Clan lose to the teams that they should lose to, they both go down 3 due to the top 3 teams, then it might just come down to rounds won and the percentage. So every round is going to count. And I think technically it'll be a little bit better on King of the Hill as well because there's
Yes.
less possible rounds for them to lose, 4 versus 5.
Yes, yeah, Koth is better in that regard. The one round on Koth is worth more than one on 5 CP, and I mean, technically, in theory, it's easier to get around on Koth, I suppose. At least when there's unbalanced matches, you usually see one of the teams give one round as we are going live.
We are going to be going live on the very first mid, Global Clan versus Jiminy. And I'm going to be watching the low guy. He's a medic main for so long, but now he's going to be on demo on the other side of the combo. So just going to be putting out a couple of stickies for the meantime. And just going to try and get some damage, get something for his team to initiate off of as the rest of the flanker over in the house. Both soldiers, Zam and Yite, just going to be playing around here as Global Clan getting a little bit aggressive. Sword kind of peeking the doorway. Dingo very far forward, actually getting a lot of cap time on the point. Seems like Kobe and Zam want to try and push this house. They are going to do so. Zam takes a lot of damage. Kobe walks forward, is going to be able to get him like Flax. That's going to be the first pick going in the favor of Jiminy, and now I think they're going to be able to try and pressure the point a little bit, but no one being able to capture it up in all this time yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of poking and prodding as the cap actually does come in, so this is really good for Jiminy. This poking and prodding on flank is usually what you see on Bagel. No one really wants to aggress across that point at the beginning of mids. Again, the flank just shoves through. Taz gets air shot. Yite may get cleaned up here. He does. It's 1 for 1. This does benefit Global Clan, actually, because Yite has that way longer of a spawn. If I'm Jiminy, maybe take a trade, or are they going to give him the point? No, they're going to... I don't know what they want to do. They want to trade. They want to trade. There it is.
Yeah, they are going to go for the trade, and Global Clan responds in kind. Just going to be rushing across the point. Shamu just trying to see how much space he can get, as Dingo is going to go down. Excellent play from Kobe. He gets taken down, but a scout for a demo. You're going to take that any day of the week if you are Jiminy. As Yite gets another onto Taz. Might fall as well, or might get the pick onto Shamu. Shamu very weak here. Just one rocketable is actually going to tank a rocket and still gets the kill, but Zam with the air shot onto Sword. Seems like anytime Global Clan, they get a pick, immediately Jiminy respond in kind right back.
Yeah, they were just, Jiminy played really well off of each other. One player would go in, just peek, then the other one would immediately go forward. As this kind of mid-fight, in a sense, is happening, still no cap. Sai is doing a really good job of denying the point. He may have to get off in a second. No, Global Clan is getting shoved. Zam does get taken down, immediately trades with Quacks, and Kobe is dead as well. So now, no, Taz gets cleaned up by Yite on the flank, so it's again a 4v4.
Ooh, yeah, it is a 4v4. Yite still very weak, hasn't been able to get out to safety, but the cap does go Global Clan's way. It does mean, however, that Jiminy are going to get the faster respawn. As you can see, Zam and Yite already up and waddling their way back to the team, while now only Taz and Quacks just now get up to the soldiers. Going to be a lot quicker for Jiminy. Zam already getting the high ground, just trying to get some spam damage off onto Dingo. Kobe rushing forward. Here comes Zam as well into the house once again. Zam very weak. It is going to be a trade, though, on the other side. Taz and Yite, as the Uber does come in aggressively from Shamu, just taking it all the way in. They're going to be able to find another one, so they do have the player advantage, and it's going to be all right for Global Clan.
Yeah, you said trade. They should have traded. They didn't. They milked it really hard, and they dropped 2. Their demo didn't jump forward with the Uber. It kind of just is a reset. So this, like you said, a lot better for Global Clan is even Ubers. Although Jiminy have done a really good job of shoving this house while their team focuses point. A lot of low health players, though. Oh my goodness.
A lot of low health players. Yeah,
he gets run down.
He did get run down, unfortunately for himself. just going to be sent back to the respawn room, and it's not going to be too bad. They do have the quicker respawners, but GlobalClan have been able to knock almost the exact amount of time as Jiminy had on the clock off, so they're going to try and even things up here, as it seems like they're getting a little bit aggressive here. Sai going to be able to get that capture point up. Ubers weren't in place, so no real option for GlobalClan to try and block it. Now Shamu trying to get on the point, trying to see if he can cap it up. Kobe very far forward, very weak. It's barely going to be able to get out. Zam just going to have to jump out to safety, as well as now they're rushing forward. They want to take it, but Sai gets dropped from the Uber, and then Kobe goes down as well. No scouts whatsoever for Jiminy. And
they didn't even use.
Yeah, they didn't even use.
I was like, okay, they're going to trade in. Dank's going to immediately trade. No, they just immediately dropped 2 players. So rough Uber coming out of them. They're not able to forward hold, but they are, again, full Uber ad. Even time on cap. If you're a GlobalClan, you're incredibly happy with how that went.
Gonna be very, very happy. Like you said, even time, and now slightly in their favor. Just gonna take further and further to them getting maybe a first round, but the spoon comes in, trying to get in onto Dank. The 4-man sack probably. They find one onto Shamu, but they don't find anything else. Logai bombing in. Oh my god, I've seen that one before. But it's not gonna happen this time. So it is just gonna be the 4-man coming out from Jiminy. They don't find their mark. They do find one into Shamu, and I don't know if that is gonna stop GlobalClan from forward holding. Seems like they're still in position though.
Yeah, okay, Kobe just runs in, immediately gets taken down by Taz. They are getting that forward hold. Zam is through. They're going to eat a lot of spam on the right side.
Logai dies.
That's a great trade, and Zam's dead. Speedy uses out. Dank still has not used. He finally does use. They're going to be able to kill Yite. I don't think they'll be able to get anybody else. They're going to try to chase, but yeah, no, there's no kills to be had. Taz being dead will make this forward a little weird if they want to. Yeah, they're not even fully committing to it. Look at this. Kobe just wait, no one looks at Kobe. Kobe's just in behind. Although they're shoving them on the left, Sai's dead. They're going to take down Zam.
Oh my god. They might be able to do it. They're trying to get through. Yite gets a nice rocket off. Is probably going to fall. Logai, it's only going to be Logai and Speedy left alive right here, as it's going to be Sai rushing forward. They do have a little bit of cap time, so it is going to be overtime. Amazing stuff from Logai with the arrows. Well, stays alive.
No.
And now Dank might be caught out. Shamu is going to have to try and escort his medic out and might be able to survive. If he does, he spam rockets, just gets in and gets the back in. That was looking so dangerous for Dank and GlobalClan, but luckily for them, they are going to have overtime, so they just need to capture up the point just once, and they can take this first round.
Yeah, Quacks is getting, good survive from him. Yeah, they are pretty forward on the flank on Jiminy. They are going to back up. Dank is close to getting, so we got 50 seconds to work with. This is enough time to send a 4-man if they want. I don't know how they want to handle this because it's even Ubers, but yeah, this is enough time. Dingo's doing a lot of good damage, getting some cap time. I mean, at some point, yeah, you got to, here they go. 4-man, at least a 3-man.
Yeah, they're trying to get onto Speedy. So much damage, and they are going to be able to get the force. Dank is all the way out of there. It is a 5-man, but luckily for them, they were able to keep their medic alive. They have a lot of cap time on the point, but they have to go quick. There's only 20 seconds left, and I mean, you wouldn't expect them to C9 it, but you've seen it happen before.
I've definitely seen it happen before, but there is a lot of cap time, so they have that benefit. They don't need to feel this pressure to immediately get out there. Actually, they do immediately get out there. They use through. Kobe is behind. They don't know about him. This could be a huge crunch. Zam is the first death. They have all this cap time. They can focus people behind. Shamu gets taken down.
Oh, they need to get on the cap right now.
Yes,
yeah, Dingo goes down. Oh my god, Sai up into the air. Is going to be able to stay alive. They're just trying. It's going to be a 3v3 right here. Actually, no, 4v3. A little bit of player advantage for GlobalClan, but Sam, nice rocket from Quacks onto the scout. His low guy is up on the high ground, but here comes a bomb from Sam. Overwhelmed, not going to be able to find anything just quite yet. Taz with the soldiers. They should be able to do enough here. It's only going to be Sam and Speedy, and they both go down, and that is the first round for GlobalClan. I did misspeak. It was Taz with the amazing rocket. I think I said Zam instead. But either way, amazing rockets from the GlobalClan soldiers helped them secure that first round.
Yeah, and it started off really rough. The flank players on Jiminy were kind of having their way in these side houses, but GlobalClan stabilized, and especially Dank. Honestly, a lot of that was Dank just holding his Uber, not feeling super pressured even when there's like 3 people in his face. So good on them. Early in these mids, Sai has been doing a really good job of edging the point and getting that cap time up and denying it. So let's see if that continues. Again, look how aggressive Jiminy are compared to GlobalClan.
Yeah, GlobalClan playing a little bit further back. Jiminy taking a lot of control, especially in that left house on their perspective. And they're getting a lot of space on the point as well. They might be able to just capture it up. GlobalClan don't really have the help to fight it, and they are going to get it. As we do see a fadeaway bomb from Quacks, just going to have to wait for an arrow. Now it's going to be GlobalClan. They have to try and aggress. Dingo so far forward is going to just be able to surf some spam damage back. Kobe wants to stick onto Taz, not going to be able to find it. Taz lucky with the health pack respawn, but Kobe very weak over in the house. Taz not going to chase it, as GlobalClan not really doing anything as of late, maybe because they're waiting for Soar, but it's just going to be more and more time off the clock for Jiminy.
Yeah, and this is the thing that a lot of teams, actually, as they are going forward, Speedy is really hurt. Dingo gets run down by Sai, though. Quack's dead, too, so they're not going to be able to do anything on this point. They might even just get walked into. No.
It was looking dicey. They do get out. They are going to make the call to get out, so they're not going to have to worry about that Uber.
So this is an issue that a lot of teams, I mean mine included, but a lot of teams have on Bagel, specifically on the mids with these side houses. They don't know how to aggressively play. Kind of what I was saying, like Sai is just having free reign on the point. He's not fearing because he knows his teammate has his back, whereas people on GlobalClan really don't want to get super far forward. As the side house fight is happening, Kobe is rolling both of these players. Taz gets cleaned up. Kobe's not going to chase. Sora's going to live. Now Sora's back in, but he's taking a 2v1, 3v1.
Oh, Kobe.
And he's just in.
Yeah, it's just in, and now it's going to be the bombs from the soldiers trying to get so much damage. But Quacks onto Speedy, gets him, and now this Uber is going to come out from Quacks onto Sam. Absolute insanity right here. They're not going to find anything else. Kobe and Yite might fall. They're over towards Garage, but Yite is actually going to go for a little bit of a cheeky hide. Kobe maybe trying to bait for his soldier partner here. Shamu is going to walk forward, doesn't use a soldier. That's going to be an easy rocket for Yite, but no, doesn't get the kill.
No. That's rough.
That is incredibly rough if you are Yite and Kobe.
Yeah, but again, you have 2 minutes to work with. Like, yeah, the play didn't work out. There's so much time to work with. Little guy just spawns forward. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was very, very close. I'm not able to get it onto Dank. Dan didn't even have Uber to use if he wanted to, so very fortunate for him that the damage wasn't there. So, like you said, though, this is going to be the first cap for GlobalClan in this round, already under a minute for Jiminy.
This is really the first, like, true forward hold we've seen this round. We saw 1 or 2 last round. It worked really well for GlobalClan last time. They're taking a lot of command. Actually, Dank just takes it in. Speedy's caught. And,
oh my god.
Okay, now there's 3 players behind, so what's going to happen here? They're all caught in this corner. If the players on Jiminy collapse now, it could be massive, but they are going to live.
They should
Hopefully.
be able to live. Dingo might get caught up, but no, Shamu is there to protect. And thing is, they can go for the cap right now, Jiminy, but they have to wait for Lol Guy. But now they're just going to have to deny anyone because Yite immediately died. So that's going to be a very long respawn, and that's going to be an easy opening for GlobalClan to try and get on this point. They're going to have player advantage. They're going to have Uber advantage as well. Shamu captures it up. And the thing now for Jiminy is that they can try and go for something here, but they have to keep Speedy protected because they might fall to the same play that happened last time, and Speedy is just gonna die. GlobalClan do the same thing. They use their Uber very aggressively, and Jiminy have to try and respond. Sam is probably gonna be caught out here. Kobe as well, very weak, gonna try and go for a play, open a point, Yite bombs and not finding anything, and Kobe is just gonna have to back up, and once again, they're getting caught out by these aggressive Shamu Ubers.
Yeah, the Ubers are really good. I do want to say the other players on GlobalClan are doing a really good job as well. Usually in a situation like that, where 4 people go behind, teams will usually feed at least 1 or 2. I mean, 1 or 2 are dying, but they're getting the trades. They're very heavily focusing the players behind. As I say that, I believe that's Sam in behind. Oh my goodness. Yite and Sam are both dead. All right, well. Taz went in for a solo bomb, but it's still... Oh, wait, Speedy died.
Oh my god, Taz getting onto Speedy there, and then I also have to shout out Dank, the fact that he lived there. That was an expert surf wrapped around over into the main area. There's going to be a little bit of scout 1v1. It is Sword versus Sai. Neither really finding it. It's going to be Quacks that comes in and bails out his scout partner. So GlobalClan managing to almost get equal time parity on the board, but still they have to play essentially perfectly because there's still 22 seconds for Jiminy. They just need one good push, one good control of the point, and they're going to be able to make it a tie game.
You can do a 4-man right now. Like, they're trying to...
Weak.
They just use.
they just go for it. I think they saw that Logai was weak and just wanted to get that kill. They are going to get a couple, but they use a couple in return. Dingo is just so far forward, and this is not good at all for GlobalClan. Dank might get caught. No, he is going to stay alive.
He's getting chased by Yite. Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
Okay, so this isn't a horrible situation. They have a player ad, right? Yite's dead. They will be able to get out through these doors. There's no real forward hold happening unless they feed to these sticks that Logai's putting in right house. Speedy is going to have, so they're going to have to either immediately get on Speedy or they're going to have to get cap time. Well, they're getting the cap time.
It seems like they are getting cap time. Speedy's playing very close with side just to maybe take that Uber at a moment's notice. It is going to be overtime, however, for Jiminy. Sword does go in, gets one onto Kobe. That's going to be a good trade there. Shamu trying to fight Taz with the rest of the GlobalClan crew, but they do lose two. It's going to be player advantage for Jiminy. His Quack's super weak, just going to have to surf over to a pack. Doesn't find it, and is going to crater to his death. This is looking like a round for Jiminy. That was so close. GlobalClan had some really great Ubers. But Jiminy, with that just early cap time that they got at the beginning of the round, Uni, are able to make it a 1-1 game.
I really want to see if GlobalClan change up their mids, because if they can, like, figure out their mids, they're winning both those rounds very comfortably. The first 2 minutes for Jiminy, both rounds have been off mid, and then GlobalClan have not been in complete control, but been a way better team. So I want to see if they change anything. Otherwise, Sai is just going to pretty much have free reign on the point and be able to cap it up.
We'll have to see, as no one going to be on the point until it gets unlocked, as a low guy taking a little bit of damage. Now it is Shamu trying to be that one to play the early point, as it's going to be the call for actually the Soldier's Bomb. Taz wrapping around, trying to get onto the flank with the help of the partner. Shamu is going to fall. Sword jumping back to try and take down him. It's actually going to be Zam who gets the kill, and that is going to be probably enough chaos for Jiminy to at least get the initial mid capture, but they're at player disad, so it is going to be GlobalClan bombing in his Quacks on the Speedy, helps get the force out. Maybe Speedy was going to use anyways, but Dank should be able to stay alive and not have to use Uber, so GlobalClan should be an easy repush for them.
Yeah, so that was actually a little bit, well, you say easy repush. Let's try not to get collapsed on. Here comes the soldiers. They do get the cap. Quacks is hurt. If Quacks gets killed, that could be big. He's going to get arrowed. He's going to live. That mid was a little bit different. Yes, Jiminy capped, but it was after 3 of their players had already fed. So GlobalClan did a much better job of absorbing those flank players who went aggressive and killing them. And yeah, Jiminy got the cap, but now it's even cap. GlobalClan have it, and 50% Ubrad, as Kobe is just doing what Sai's been doing. Taz trade, right house, goodness gracious.
Yep, the soldier trade over in the house, kind of maybe a staple of Bagel if you're just kind of wandering over there. But it is going to favor Jiminy. They do have the faster respawners immediately. You can already see that Yite is on his way, as Kobe is in behind, going to be able to help get out that force. And Shamu rushing forward, trying to get on to Speedy. Speedy doesn't have just quite yet. Shamu trying to go forward. Oh no, is not going to be able to find it. Really great stuff from everyone on Jiminy to help Speedy stay alive. And now GlobalClan going to be at Uber Disad. Quacks hiding in house, not going to be able to get a trade, as Taz going to go for the solo. Actually, no, fades away, doesn't commit onto it, just going to try and play his life, and that's going to put point control and Uber advantage for Jiminy.
Yeah, I like the idea of the Uber. They just needed to have one more person there with them. It was essentially just a solo scout running at Speedy. They needed a soldier. They needed, I don't remember where Dingo was. Maybe he just wasn't there. I don't know. But they needed someone there. As Quacks bombs through, good damage on the Zam. They're getting mulched.
Oh my god, they are getting mulched. Zam being able to barely survive to some well-placed healing arrows and stuff. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Sword is in behind.
Do they know? They're not looking. No, they have no idea, I don't think.
They don't. Soar, there's no one respawning as well, so he doesn't have to worry about bumping into someone. He's going to be hiding in-house, and he's probably, hopefully getting the call from his team, as that's where the med is. No one's turning around.
Oh,
he could have an opportunity. Going to be running forward. Tries to get on speed. He's going to get the drop. Insane stuff, and now with the Uber, GlobalClan can just use this at a moment's notice, but they're losing a few players over on the right side of lobby, as Dank gets bombed by Yite. Excellent stuff there. Is going to be able to get the force, but Zam and Kobe are in behind, as they have been spotted. They're going to try and rush forward over into the garage area. They find one onto Shamu, and Dank might fall as well. He's so weak, but Kobe's not going to be shooting him. Instead, it's going to go for everyone else. Finally, Dank does die, but I think it's still gonna favor Jiminy at the end of the day.
Yeah, I wanted to say, I think the play that GlobalClan did, I don't know if it was like on purpose, but they sent all their people through, you know, right, to get mulched, and they were able to get Shamu in behind because no one, you know, was watching it. It was essentially it. I don't think it was planned. It just kind of happened. It's only 25% disad actually, though.
Yeah, I thought it would have been a little bit more, but I think there was only Guy up to build with Speedy, so a bit unfortunate for Jiminy, but getting the pick onto Taz is going to wipe all the worries away, especially getting another onto Soren. Dingo might be caught out. No is going to be able to make it back into lobby with the rest of the squad, so they're just going to heal up. It is going to be uber advantage for Jiminy, but by the time Sor gets there, GlobalClan should have as well. They are going to have to maybe try and break out of this forward hold. They're not holding it too aggressively on Jiminy, and they should be able to get out. Quacks does bomb around, and that's going to be the forward hold broken, but Zam going in for a bomb, tries to get onto Dank, hasn't found anything, not going to be able to stay alive, and that might be the one player advantage that GlobalClan need.
Oh, they know about it. I was going to say, Yite has a really good opportunity to make something happen here. Quacks and Guy, that's a courage you take every day for your Quacks. Again, side A for Dingo, not the greatest, but it is a 1-for-1. Kobe is just taking this with no fear. Sor gets cleaned up. Now all of a sudden, this is a really rough fight for GlobalClan. They do get the cap, which actually is not going to work in their favor.
No, it's not going to work in their favor. Shamu seems like he wants to try and stand his ground by taking this Uber in to try and hold on for as long as possible, but Yite is in behind, gets one rocket on the tank, and that is going to force out the Uber. He needed to use it there. That second rocket would have definitely killed him, and now Shamu just got to take this solo to see if he can do anything at all. He's going to be able to find a pick on the side with the help of Dingo, but does get cleaned up, and now any tracer just can be okay for GlobalClan here. They find another. Question is, how long does Speedy milk this? Dropping the demo is going to be the straw that forces out the Uber. Gonna try and save everyone else here as
this is winnable.
Losing a lot. Guy goes down as well, getting unflashed at the wrong time. Now Speedy's gonna fall and crash. Sai, that should have been it. That should have been it for Jiminy right there, but GlobalClan managing to barely hold on, but they're not out of the woodwork yet, Uni. They've got to hold essentially flawlessly because it is overtime for Jiminy.
Yeah, they do have that Uber ad, which is great, but Jiminy have been really good at getting these cap times during the fight, so GlobalClan really have to hunker down and not let anyone feed while also still being aggressive on the point. Yeah, I don't know how that fight went in the favor of GlobalClan. I think like they milked so hard they ended up dropping 2 players and then the Uber did nothing. But regardless, the fight is happening on mid. Kobe taking a lot of damage. He might be cleaned up. No, he is gonna live. Sor maybe gets cleaned up. Quacks bombs in really aggressively. Yite's in on the
Yeah, Yite does get cleaned up early, and that's going to give GlobalClan a little bit more breathing room to be over on this point. Shamu playing it aggressively. Guy is actually going to be a 1v1
honestly,
trade.
just
wins that,
Yep,
and isn't going to have to die. Speedy might get caught out here, but any pick is going to be good for GlobalClan. Shamu is going in so deep for this medic pick, has now finally found it, but the kills, Zam going in, isn't going to be able to find one onto Tank Yite, and they don't touch the point, and it's going to be 2-1 for GlobalClan.
That's, yeah, it should never have gotten to that position, but really good out of GlobalClan. They were able to control the point so much better than they have in the past. I really want to see what happens on these mids, because that last mid, they did the exact same thing, but better. They were super passive, but kind of baited Jiminy in, got those 3 flank picks, and then just recapped the point after like 10 seconds.
Yeah. Let's see if GlobalClan are going to be able to do the same thing as last time, or if Jiminy are going to recognize not necessarily the error, but where maybe they kind of lagged on the execution and can shape it up a little bit better. No one going for anything just quite yet. Now the point is unlocked. You can see Sai immediately trying to play that point. Jiminy very aggressive at the moment. It's going to be a 1v1 over in-house. Taz versus Yite. Neither going to fall. Both going to back up and try and play their lives. Now Quack's going for the Fade Bomb. They're trying to make this a lot harder for Jiminy to try and fight, but Kobe and Zam over on the house just winning it, takes down Quacks, and I think that is going to fall and allow Jiminy to get onto the point, but taking down Zam, they lose 2 almost immediately. They are going to have to back up.
Yeah, Dank got forced. He was in a rough position. He didn't have the speed to get out. So now it's just full overhead, and they're down 2 scouts, and they don't have the cap. So this is, again, a rough situation. Last time we saw this, Shamu was able to get behind, although they are already out, so the forward hold can't really come in. Zam was dead, so, you know, when you're down even 1 player, that forward hold kind of becomes impossible. But, I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to 4-man? Like, what's the play here?
have to see what the play is as they're just kind of getting in position. Kobe a little bit aggressive over in the house, but no, here comes the bomb. Dingo going all the way in, gets a nice sticky over onto Speedy, who's hiding in that little cupboard, but there's no one else really to help follow up on it. Soar and Quacks are now running in a little bit later. Oh, Quacks gets absolutely denied by Zam. Amazing air shot right there to take him down. So that 4-man not really finding any success for GlobalClan. Unfortunate there, but you know, the alternate, you know, the silver lining is they keep Dank alive. They're gonna have Uber. Thing is, there's already a minute off the clock for Jiminy.
Yeah, it was actually like a 3-man because Kobe ran in behind and was doing so good against Shamu and Dang by himself that it forced Taz to kind of come back. Quaz bombs through, gets good damage as Soar and Taz help run down Kobe. That opens up a lot of space because Kobe has been doing a lot of these shoves. I'm guessing they take a trade with Sai. Yeah, that's exactly what they do.
They're gonna take the tray, and they are able to get a few flashes over on GlobalClan, but Shamu actually going over into the flank, gonna help find one. Soar wrapping around. Oh my god, they're just mulching in. They capital ups onto Speedy, and Sai is, Quacks gonna find that one with a nice little upward direct onto the scout. So GlobalClan playing that post absolutely beautiful, actually just playing the Uber exchange well. Shamu rushing forward and making the most out of that exchange.
Yeah, this is actually a really weird situation though, because Jiminy should honestly be able to recap. Their player advantage isn't that bad, and the spawns for GlobalClan are really bad. So they're trying to deny. Low guy is putting out decent spam. Again, Sai is doing what he's been doing. Kobe just runs in. Quacks and Kobe trade. I'll take that. A soldier for a scout on a cloth map.
Now it's going to be all right for them, at least for the meantime. They do get control of the point, so it's going to be quicker respawns for GlobalClan, and they're also going to have Uber a lot sooner, so it makes it a bit more difficult for Jiminy to try and block the point. You are going to see Yite in the house. It's actually going to be Taz landing on him, might be able to get the kill. No, is going to be able to get out safely, so that's going to be great for Jiminy, but still, it's going to allow GlobalClan to get control of the point, and now they're going to be holding on to it with a little bit of Uber advantage. Speedy playing very far back, doesn't want to be at risk to the aggressive GlobalClan Ubers that we've seen a couple times now.
Yeah, and that passiveness is exactly why they were able to so easily cap the point. Speedy was playing back left, from my POV, but he was playing over there with like 3 people surrounding him, so there really was only low guy and kind of a soldier to deny the point, so the cap was pretty free. Kobe gets killed by Quacks. Quacks immediately traded, so it's a 5v5. Here comes the trade.
Yeah, the gun exchange
Scout
across
solo.
the point. It is going to be a scout solo, a little bit more flashing over on Jiminy, as they're still going to have player advantage because Quacks, even though it was a trade, it did have the slower respawns, as now you can see Yite and Kobe rushing forward and getting a lot of damage. They ain't going to be able to surf out, but no, you can't surf bullets, as they are going to connect. They find one, but Speedy might fall. Soar is on the medic's case. Speedy going to have to go back for a pack, and they should be able to keep him alive. They get control of the point. GlobalClan might have an opportunity to capture it up because they're going to have the quicker respawners, but Jiminy in an all-right position, especially because they have a lot less time on the clock.
And yeah, Uberad, you know, the spawns are going to be better. You have all this cap time, and you've done such a good job of just slowly capping this point over the span of like 15-20 seconds. This is looking really good for Jiminy. You almost kind of have to send a big flank play in or something, because you know this Uber should be coming in, although Sai is just capping. There's no pressure. Look at this. Sai just capped that basically for free.
Yeah, basically got it. Now
There's
they
the
are
Uber.
going to use the Uber, as Dank is well and truly too committed. Is going to be an easy kill for Jiminy. Quack's gonna bomb round, wants to try and get him maybe onto Speedy, but no damage really. Dingo just kind of walking forward, see if he can maybe find something. He finds a pick onto Sai that might help trying to break the forward hold, but he's gonna be a little bit of a late spawn, actually a very late spawn, gonna be on the same wave, and Taz going down as well in lobby is not gonna be good, so just kind of trickle feeding a little bit. Shamu is also gonna go down. Quacks might fall over in lobby, finds Lowell Guy, but there's just only 10 seconds left, and all these picks are just denying GlobalClan an opportunity to stand on the point.
I mean, something crazy could happen, but this round should be over. Sora gets killed. Taz is living a long time on top. Thanks, Dad. This round's over, yeah. Yeah, they trickle fed. They, realistically, they would have been okay. It would have been close, but they would have been okay if they just completely bailed out of that fight, didn't try to kill anybody, but first they lost a scout, then I think Dingo died, then a soldier died, and it's too much to deal with, so we're all tied up.
Yep, tied up 2-2 on Bagel. And we've kind of seen that once they get control of the point, GlobalClan, they're able to hold on to it. But it seems like the case for both teams. Once they're able to be in control, they're able to kind of exert that influence for a long time. But Yite and Taz over in the house. Taz is going to win that. Kobe rushing in to try and avenge his fallen teammate. Not going to find any success there. This is maybe going to be the first time that we've seen GlobalClan on the aggressive very early on. Quacks is going to try and trade out with Zam. Not going to be able to. Actually does get the shot, but not enough to get the kill. And that's still going to be enough for GlobalClan to get control of the point. Going to be faster respawns for Jiminy, though.
Yeah, that's one way to not have to deal with Sai being really good at capping the point. You just immediately kill the two flanks, force Sai to come over, and then kill Sai. They did a really good job of containing those flank players, not getting too aggressive. There is a spawning soldier, though, so this is technically better for Jiminy right now.
Gonna be a little bit better. Little guy, very, very weak. He's gonna have to be out of the fight for just a bit. Gonna catch an arrow, come right back in. Yite, very weak over in the house. Taz is gonna win that, and that's gonna be a long respawn for Yite as they had just captured up the point. Now, with that player advantage, GlobalClan, they might try and do something. Sai playing around the point is gonna go for the Uber trade, and it's gonna manage to get it out from GlobalClan. You expect, yeah, Dank finally does that with very, very close milking from him. Gonna be a lot later of an Uber. Quack spamming in super deep. They want this kill on the Speedy. Quacks is going in, so he manages to find it on the jump pad, and that is gonna be the call for GlobalClan to capture it up.
Yep, this is a weird situation. Okay, they know Kobe's behind. They saw their spawns are so bad. They essentially have to go. Oh, don't let him do it to you. Oh, thank God. I thought he was going to 2v1 the scouts. Yeah, like, so that made it even worse. If they killed Kobe there, they're able to hold this point, no problem. But being two soldiers down on those horrible spawns and Kobe just doing that, like, it's over. You can't hold that. They do have 10% Uber at, but like 10% isn't that much. I mean, if Dank is on the Solemn Vow, they will be able to see it. Dingo might be dead.
Oh, but Shamu is going to fall, and Dingo now falls a little bit later, and Dank is going to have to try and run out as everyone on Jiminy taking control, but Taz on to Speedy with the air shot opportunity, but not able to connect it, and that was a very, very close for them. But fortunately, I guess, you know, Dank is able to stay alive, still has that kind of 10%, and they have a lot of cap time, so it might be doable.
They have a lot of cap time, and there's no scouts. The scouts won't be there for at least a few more seconds. You should be able to get... Honestly, I think you just get the cap. Pressure low guy off. Set foot on it now. Oh, they're doing such a good job of denying this, though. You just need to spam low guy and Kobe. Put your feet on. There you go.
They are going to do it. They listened to your words from beyond the screen and did exactly that. So good job from GlobalClan, but now Jiminy have an opportunity to respond. They've got their own Uber, getting a little bit of cap time on the point. Now it's going to be a question of does Shamu want to try and take this exchange, which we've seen Sai do a couple times. Actually, no, Sai just going to be able to get it out kind of from under GlobalClan's nose without anyone falling. Quacks, very weak over in the house, is actually going to get that one against Kobe. It gets immediately traded out from Zam, so no harm, no foul. A little bit better for GlobalClan because they don't have control of the point. Dingo, very weak, is just gonna have to surf out the safety off the damage, but GlobalClan, they want to try and get this point without having to use the Uber, and they are going to be able to do so. So once again, point being traded hands without Uber being used.
Yeah, one thing I will say, I think the soldiers from GlobalClan are doing a little bit better job of living, or GlobalClan is just focusing the soldiers on Jiminy more. As I say that, yeah, Yite and Zam are dead. Quacks is dead too. Okay, Kobe just runs down Dingo. So all of a sudden, this isn't a horrible fight for Jiminy. I was going to say this fight is now officially over, but Dingo being dead makes this hold really hard, actually. You almost have to watch them maybe to take a scout hoop. Yep, Shamu wants to take this. No? No, they don't. Okay.
Oh! Soar onto Kobe just from the house, is able to shoot down on him and gets the kill. And now immediately GlobalClan are wanting to get recontrol of this point. Taz over in the house, a little bit of 1v1 with Yite, but they're going to go over across the point. A little bit better for GlobalClan. They find two. They lose one in Quack, so it's going to be better for them. They might find one on Sai as he jumps across the point. That was a close sticky to him, and it might be able to stay alive. But Taz coming in from the spawn onto Speedy. Does he hit the air shot? He gets it. Nice stuff from him as Kobe over in the house wants to try and salvage things with Sai. They're getting a lot of pressure on the point, kind of forcing GlobalClan to go forward, but hey, with the arrow onto Kobe, that is going to shut things down. They're just playing it, maybe trying to force GlobalClan forward because they don't really want to deny anyone, but the bomb comes in onto Dank, not able to find it either. Zam wanted it, And this is just more and more time draining off the clock for GlobalClan, and they're going to be able to tie it up and get in the lead.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of knowing where the lines are, not feeding too hard. Stuff like Kobe wants to shove behind again. He gets caught. No, he just commits. And he's behind as, I mean, Jiminy were able to get the cap. Yoy! Oh, Kobe just destroyed Taz and scores. So all of a sudden, as this Uber trade comes in, they do kill Speedy, but Dank is in a really precarious situation. Although, I mean, it's a 4v4. They're kind of tucked in here.
Yeah, they are tucked in here a little bit. Dingo is going to get absolutely mulched. Quack does actually find one, and it's only going to be Logai. They do have to worry about the respawners, so maybe collapsing in on them, but Logai is out in no man's land, and that's going to be the call for GlobalClan to capture up the point, and they're going to be in a very good position. Dank has an Uber advantage, very close to it, and unfortunately for Jiminy, they don't have Uber advantage, nor do they have overtime, so they need to get the point and hold on to it, which sounds easy, but it can be very, very difficult.
Yeah, and Sam just flies in on his own. I don't know about that one, but all right. Yaidi's going to get killed. Trade with Quacks on the flank as well. Dank is going to just get their trade comes in. Kobe's dead as well. Speedy's not going to get for this. Like, if they just go in, honestly, into Speedy right now and kill him, they're set. They don't. Kobe they have so much cap time, too. Kobe has done a good job of being able to really break apart these holds that GlobalClan have. I'm curious if it's going to happen again. Zam is in. No, he bails. It's just a mid fight.
It is very dangerous, and they do manage to get the Uber. This is the best case scenario for Jimmy. They need to get as many picks as possible. Taz just managing to survive with a really well-placed arrow from Dank, keeping his soldier up. Kobe, Sai, they want to try and find something here, but if you're GlobalClan, you have to stand on the point. You cannot see 9 at Quacks, and Dingo are going to stand onto it. Seems like they're getting the better trade of things. Zam coming forward. It is going to be Shields of Fish, but they don't stand on it. They C9 it, and that is going to be GlobalClan 3-2.
That is, like, I really like the idea from Jiminy. The idea, obviously, right? You jump forward into them. They don't have Uber. We're just going to crush you before you get to the point. You just got to stop them from getting to the point. Yeah, so last mid, same thing happened, except GlobalClan had a really good read on the flank. We're able to immediately get 3 kills. I'm curious if the same thing happens again. Kobe is, oh my god, Kobe's, he didn't hit S at all. He's all the way W. He does bail. This is about what we've been seeing. Nothing too crazy.
Nothing too crazy at the moment. Once again, Jiminy with a lot more point presence and control. Dingo going down very, very weak. Is not going to fall as Kobe and Zam taking control of that right house from their perspective. And that's going to be Jiminy once again with the first mid-point capture of this round. But it could be the final one if GlobalClan are able to capture it up. Dingo once again takes a bit of damage.
Nice.
Going to have to back up. But yeah, Taz onto Kobe in the house. That could open things up for the rest of the team as Shamu just maybe trying to see if he wants to take this exchange. Oh?
No, but I mean, I guess if they're not pushing into you and like really forcing the cap, you don't need to take the trade. This is just time being bled off.
Yeah, it's just more time.
Shove.
Oh yeah, the flank does shove in. They find one onto Yite, and Taz coming in onto Logai, gets him just an immediate nukening as it's only going to be Speedy and Zam. Kobe does find one onto Taz, but he's disconnected from the Uber. It's going to be him and Sor in a 1v1. The arrow saves him. Really well placed arrow coming out from Speedy to keep his scout alive, but it's still going to be Uber advantage for Dank. They need Shamu right here to help protect. They find one onto Zam. Yite maybe in position to try and go for something. Might get caught, however, over in house is body blocked by Shamu there. Unfortunate for him, because that's going to be a 2-player advantage. No soldiers to go for the bomb here, so this should be a very easy cap up for GlobalClan.
Yeah, immediate recap. I mean, they got, what, 10 seconds off it? Dank still has 50%. How passive is, yeah, Speedy is just completely ready to go. So they can't even pressure the point right now. So you'll get some, I don't know, probably like at least 10, 15 free seconds right here until Speedy is coming. Actually, as I say that, they are in, and Tank immediately takes a trade, and Speedy and Kobe are dead.
That is insane timing coming out from GlobalClan. They immediately see, as soon as Speedy just walked a little hint forward, but Sam bombs in into everyone, might get a lot of damage, finds one, but not enough to find the most important pick, Dank. He does find one onto Dingo, which is definitely gonna stop GlobalClan from going for the forward hold, so it is well worth it. Kobe was up on Sniper, but instead gonna swap out, I think, once realizing that they're not going for the forward hold. So, an opportunity for Jiminy to get a little bit aggressive here without the demo, but they're still at risk to the full Uber advantage that GlobalClan have.
Yeah, I they just use it immediately. They're not getting Speedy this time. Don't go Kobe. Yite should, in theory, be dead. Maybe. Wait, Taz is in. Okay, Taz.
What?
So that's actually just a 1-for-1 trade. This is really bad for GlobalClan now. They do have the point. Okay, Sam gets cleaned up. That's a little bit better.
That is going to be a little bit better. It was very unfortunate for Taz because I think he got killed by Yite when Yite was just rocket jump. They're in. They try to collapse onto Speedy once again. They find one on the side. They find another onto Yite. So even when they go aggressive, they're still able to find picks even if it isn't on the Speedy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was meant to be like a 3 or 4 man, but like they'll take that every day of the week. It's only a 50% disset now. Yeah, Speedy's, I mean, they're probably going to get the point. If you're Jiminy, Shamu is doing his best side guy right now, though, denying the point pretty well. Dank is just getting closer and closer to that Uber, and I hope he gets cleaned up on the flank. 1-for-1, the Uber does come out of Speedy. Dingo is, the demo is behind. Yeah, okay, 4-man, okay. It wasn't meant to be, it just turned into one.
Yeah, it did turn into one. Quacks is going to manage to just barely stay alive, so I guess you can call that a 3.5 man, but he was in there doing damage, not able to find anything, so, but they do find the Uber out of Speedy, so it's going to be Uber advantage for GlobalClan. They're mobilizing over on the right side of lobby from their perspective, trying to make their way in. No one on I just see Kobe and I immediately think G6, but no one on Jiminy are in position to really deny them. So they're able to break the forward hold, and now they have an opportunity to get on the point, and now this time, they're the ones with so little time on the clock.
Yeah, as they are. Oh, they just immediately use it. Speedy. No, okay, Speedy's not going to be dead. They are going to get at least 2 or 3 kills here. Kobe and Zam should both be dead. They take down Zam. Kobe is almost cleaned up. He does live. Okay, that's not the worst thing in the world for Jiminy. They need to balance getting aggressive but not feeding right now because they need to not let this forward hold happen. They're not even going for forward hold, actually. I figured GlobalClan would get forward, but they're not.
They're not going for the forward hold, which is going to be, like you said, great news to Jiminy. They're going to have Uber here, and they're going to be in a position to try and retake the point, but they have to do so soon. Only 6 seconds left on the clock before GlobalClan win this. Oh, my low guy immediately nuked Shamu and Tank. They're not getting out of that one, as Sora able to find a trade over, but Dingo, he gets Speedy. Speedy was just left alone. Everyone else, he gets another.
He almost kills the little guy.
Oh my god, Taz might fight. He's gonna clean up little guy.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, he does.
I think that's it, actually. I don't know if they can get... Oh, I think if Taz stood on point, that actually would have won. They weren't there in time. But, I mean, it's... Both demos down. Dank has 10% Uber ad. I mean, they're just capping. Wait, look how passive everyone in Jiminy is. Okay, now they flood forward.
They do flood forward, but they have to play perfectly because they just get them a cap, which they do. They're going to lose the game. And that is going to be GG's 4-2 for GlobalClan. And it's good that we're not betting Men Uni because we would have lost big time.
In my defense, if I bet money on this, I would have contacted the bookie to try to change my bet when I saw that they were half off classing. Still. It's not, but it's not they're bad at the classes they were playing. Well, guy's a good demo, Speedy's a good medic, etc. They're all really good on those classes. Good job for GlobalClan.
Yeah, really good job.
I will eat my words. They played really good. Oh my god, Dingo did 415.
Ooh, oh my god, that is absolutely insane. Yeah, just looking at the logs right now, Dingo with the 415, absolute just monstrous amounts of damage. The other thing that immediately stands out to me is Dank, 7 deaths, Speedy, 14, and a lot of it's just because of those aggressive Ubers we saw.
Yep. Yeah, no, literally exactly that. I feel like Speedy had at least 5 or 6 deaths that were just either he was getting caught or his team would get caught and then he would have no protection. Really good out of them. The only other thing that really sticks out to me, Kofi, 37 and 33.
Yeah, Kobe was just running it down.
He
It
was just
seemed
in.
like yeah, he was just in and he was getting picks too. He was having a really great game. Kind of interesting that, like almost everyone on a Jimny is kind of out damaging at least the Global Clan people except for Taz and Dingo who are just so far ahead. Dingo just 415 is absolutely crazy. And I mean, I don't know what you think about it, Uni, but he was running Quickie Bomb for all of it. Is lock and load Quickie the new meta?
I mean, lock and load is lock and load, right? Like, we've kind of established how good that thing is. Quickie is really good. If you're comfortable with it, you know how to use it, Quickie's good. He had 33% AC with Quickie. Like, come on. That's incredible. And yeah, he was just able to output damage, like that real quick burst damage, a lot higher than Logai was just because of that arm time, right? I'm sure if I paid attention, there was a situation or two probably where he would have liked to have the regular sticky launcher, but he was making it work, and it shows.
Yeah. No, it really, really shows. And, those kind of mid-season roster shakeups for Global Clan definitely helping them out in their bid to try and make playoffs. That upset win gave them a little bit of breathing room that they can take it going into the rest of the season as we're kind of at the halfway point. So Global Clan going to be 3-3 at the moment. Jiminy going to be 3-2, and both Jiminy still looking pretty good to make playoffs. I think even with this loss, they're not going to be too worried about their chances there. But it does kind of heat things up for hopefully an exciting end to the season.
Yeah, I think it probably will honestly come down to the last matches at this point, because like we were saying earlier, right? There's kind of like 3 tiers to invite right now. I guess this match kind of throws that theory a little out the window. We'll have to see as the season goes if it still holds, but due to the fact that they have that upset, yeah, now all of a sudden the 4th and the 5th team are basically about equal as far as records go. So it might come down to the head-to-head at this point.
Yeah, it really could, which is always interesting because then every single round does matter. But if you're thinking like, where can I see all of this amazing epic TF2 stuff that they're hyping up? Don't worry, we'll be live tomorrow for some more TF2 high octane invite action. I don't know what the match is. Actually, wait, that's right. It's gonna be same teams because I think this was supposed to happen earlier in the season. They scheduled it so much later, and then they're just kind of doing a back-to-back, not a doubleheader, but a back-to-back. So they might be reviewing some demos. I don't think we're gonna be seeing Bagel again. That's all I'm gonna say, Uni.
No, I'm doubtful of Bagel as well. They have not done the pick bans yet. I'm guessing we see a 5CP because, yeah, we'll probably see a 5CP. I'm curious if they go back to the normal classes. I mean, realistically, they can all play most classes at a good level, but I'm curious if pick bans are due in half an hour, so we'll know soon. And Jiminy forfeited one of their pick bans due to the time, I guess. So we'll see. GlobalClan do get 3 bans. Bagel is already banned. Sultry and Bagel are banned. So we could, I guess, see product, but realistically, probably a 5CP.
Yeah, realistically. So it'll hopefully be exciting, whatever it is, and these teams will put up a great match. But I think we're gonna wind down for tonight. Uni, any shout outs you'd like to give?
Shout out Dolphin, shout out you, and yeah, shout out to Anglerfish. Love you guys.
Yeah, and I'll mirror some of your shout outs. Shout outs to Dolphin for doing a lot of work behind the scenes for everything. Shout outs to you, Uni. It's cool to be able to cast with you again. I think it's been a long time, probably since like Fireside, like a long time ago. But one of the OG, I was saying beforehand, one of the OG RGL casters. So great to see you back on the mic. And then, of course, shout outs to the RGL merch. What these teams are playing for. It's LAN, it's coming up, and no better way to go to LAN than with some sick TF2 merchandise on your person. So, get dripped out and show up to LAN with it. Aside from that, shout outs to you guys for watching. Shout outs to the teams for playing. Without them, there'd be no match to cast. And we'd just be sitting here in the booth, I don't know, talking about like penguins or something. But stay tuned tomorrow night. These two teams, once again, it's going to be a rematch. It was exciting tonight. Gonna be exciting tomorrow. Stay tuned. Till then, have a good night.